What's up, guys? It's my keys again. We've been able to name all the white notes, the natural notes in the previous video. So now we're trying to learn the key names of the black notes. Like I said earlier, the black notes are grouped in twos and threes. Now we know the names of the white notes on the piano or keyboard. The black notes on the keyboard are called the flat and sharp keys. By that, what I mean is this: if you have, let's say, a white note C, and in written music, the sharp has a symbol, and that symbol is attached to the note C. It means you raise the note C by a half step. A half step is the shortest distance between two notes. So, like from C now to this next black note is a half step movement. So we also have a whole step. A whole step consists of two half steps. So if this note to the closest note is a half step movement, that means from this note to the nearest note forward, that's going forward, a forward motion, is a half step note. So that means from C now, we know our C is right in front of two black group keys. From our C to D is a movement of C to this first note, half step, this note to D, half step. So it's a two half steps movement, or we call it a whole step, since a whole step is also a half step. So C to D is a whole step movement, or two half steps. So, but I prefer to call it a whole step movement. C to this note is a half step movement. So when you find a sharp in written music, when you have a sharp attached to a natural note like C in this case, it means play the next note to it, which is this. So if this is C, this next note, this closest black note to it going forward is going to be called C sharp. So what I want us to this is how I want us to think about it. A sharp is associated with a forward movement, while a flat is associated with a backward movement. So from C, if you find the notes, a sharp attached to the note C, it means you play this note, and this note is called C sharp. So also, this is D. If you have the flat note written close to a D note in written music, it means you should go back a half step. Go back a half step to this nearest note. Go back a half step, and that means this note will now be D flat, because a flat is associated with a backward movement, a sharp is associated with a forward movement. So that's what I want us to get. So if this is C, this note will be C sharp, and if this is D, this note will be D flat. Now from what we can see, this same note has two names. It's called C sharp or D flat. That means it depends on how you look at it, the direction you're coming from. From C going forward is C sharp, from D going backward is D flat. So in music, this concept is called enharmonics. Enharmonics, enharmonics. So that is the name of a note that has just this sound is peculiar to this note, but the note has two key names. You can call it C sharp, and you can also call it D flat. So that means C sharp and D flat are equivalent. So they are enharmonic equivalents. So this same note is C sharp and it's also D flat, depending on how you look at it, the orientation, whether it's C going forward by a half step or it's D going backward by a half step. So let's try another example. If this is F, going forward by half step is F sharp. If this is G, going backward by a half step is G flat. So this same note is F sharp, this same note is G flat. So that means F sharp and G flat are equivalent. F sharp and G flat are enharmonics of each other. The same thing, G going forward is G sharp. This is A, going backward is A flat. So it means G sharp or A flat, G sharp and A flat are equivalent, enharmonic equivalents of each other. So you also have A going to B flat, A going to A sharp, or B going backward to B flat. So that means A sharp or B flat are enharmonic equivalents. A sharp and B flat are enharmonic equivalents. So that means we've gone through our black keys. That means this first black key of two groups of black key can be called C sharp or D flat. We know why now. The second group of two black keys can be the second black key in the group of two black keys is known. The name is it's known as D sharp or E flat. Also, the three black group keys now. The first black group in the three black group keys, it can be called F sharp or G flat. They are enharmonics of one another. So the next black key in the three group black keys, we have G sharp or A flat. That means G sharp or A flat are harmonic equivalents. Also, the third black key in the three group of black keys is called A sharp or B flat. So each of these black keys, they have two names each: C sharp or D flat, D sharp or E flat, F sharp or G flat, G sharp or A flat, A sharp or B flat. So those are the black key names. So you can see their names are attached with sharp or flats. That's why they call them the sharps or flat keys. So, but there are sometimes in written music where you come across F flat. This is F. So if you see F flat in written music, it means F should go. You should play the note closest to F, going backward. Don't forget flats going backward, sharps going forward. So F going backward by a half step, going backward by half step is F flat. So we know that this is E from our white notes C, D, E. So, but in written music, it can also be written as F flat. So in case you come across that. But the goal of this masterclass is to simplify everything and to teach you how to play by ear, to get you to know the basic things you need to know. It's not really geared towards written music. We just want you to be able to familiarize yourself with the piano without sheet music, without the traditional way of writing music. But that is not to say we won't break down concepts for you, so that when you encounter written music, as in your journey of playing the piano, you can easily understand the concepts being expressed in such contents. So that is it about the names of the black keys. So we know the white notes are the natural keys, and the black keys are the flat and sharp keys. And we also know that a half step is the closest distance between two notes, like E to F, like C to C sharp, like A to B flat, like B to C. So, and we know that two half steps is equal to a whole step. So C to C sharp is a half step, C sharp to D is another half steps. So C to D is two half steps. That means C to D is a whole step. So I believe you grab the concept. It's pretty simple. So thank you for your time. I'll see you in the next video.